I like the underground. Anyway, so I suspect as the person I'm about to talk to, because he must have spent a lot of time down there, because he's been photographing it, all of it. And he's Luke Agbaimoni, and he's on the line now. Hello, Luke.
Hello, Robert. How's it going?
Yeah, very well indeed. So first of all, congratulations on this project. I mean, it's mammoth.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's been going on for about 4 years since my child was born. It was a way of doing creative photography, but at the same time being able to look after my child. So I done it on the way to work and on the way home. So it was a slow project that's been built up over time.
So what was the aim of the project? To capture each station, or?
Well, it started, as I just said, it started as a way to continue creative photography, but then I started to, as I started the project, I realised that every station had something special about it.
Yeah.
It evoked memories, like you were just talking just a second ago about the smells on the Victoria line. And people have these memories, like they'll say, oh yeah, I like the Angel Station used to be a single platform.
It was terrifying. And, it was brilliant.
Yes, and so the people can remember that. They'll go, when they see my pictures of Angel Station now, they'll go, yeah, I remember years ago when I went on that station and it was terrifying. And things like that.
The pictures are very,
the structure.
The pictures are very atmospheric, aren't they? They're not kind of, these are not pictures of, they're kind of not literal, if you know what I mean. They get the atmosphere of the place and the feel of each station.
Yeah, the idea of the Tube Mapper project was to capture a moment at every station. It's not necessarily a picture of something that's obvious. It might be the stairway, the symmetry of walking down the stairs when a train aligns at the end, or the way that the sun shines through the windows, or something that evokes, if you consider that there's so many people that share the same visual stimulus as they travel to work and travel home. All of these people have had these shared visions. And so when you capture these moments, people say, yes, I know exactly where that is. And I think that's lovely, that shot, that view.
They're in colour, aren't they? And they're quite modern. These are not sort of nostalgic views of old tube stations.
I would say, yeah, they vary. So the shots will vary. It's whatever evokes a response. At Brockley Station, for example, there's a picture of a station cat that comes and says hello. At Embankment, I've got pictures of they've got some brilliant tunnels. There's a hidden spiral staircase that you may, and all of these things are very powerful.
Now, you see, for example, I don't think, being a North Londoner, that I've ever been to South Wimbledon Station. And I'm having a look at this tiled tunnel with a kind of a curved edge. It's just beautiful. I want to go there.
Yes, that's the thing. So if you consider that the architecture of London is spanning from 1869 to now, You've got this sort of living museum of the old and new, and it's wondrous travelling around, taking it all in. I mean, it's a marvel when people come. It's obviously, that's why it's one of the top London attractions. Just travelling around the underground in itself is amazing.
So you started off just doing these pictures on your way to and from work, but at some point you must have made a conscious decision to go very much out of your way.
Yes. So at the beginning it was just on my way home. And then as the project began to build more momentum on Twitter and Instagram, the people started saying, oh yeah, the Tube Map project we like what you're doing. I would do excursions like to Cockfosters, for example. Yeah. And then work my way back. Cockfosters is a lovely station. Funny name, but beautiful station.
Which style of station do you like most? Do you like, I mean, you just mentioned Cockfosters, which I think is a Holden station, isn't it? One of the 1930s kind of Art Deco ones. Do you like those most, or are you more Leslie Green, which is the sort of oxblood tiled Mornington Crescent classic stations, or do you prefer the more modern ones?
Wow, you're an expert.
I know my stuff. Yeah.
I actually, to be honest, the project sort of taught me I kind of like different aspects of stations.
Yeah.
So, as you said, like some of the old tilings, like at St Paul's, you've got some of the old original red tiling still on display. And then there's Gants Hill, for example, which is a beautiful sort of Russian-inspired.
Oh, it looks like
design.
Moscow. The ticket office at Gants Hill is one of the marvels of the underground.
Yes, it is. And do you know how many people have been there? Not many.
No. I must admit, I haven't.
No offence to people who live in Gants Hill. Sorry, I don't mean it in that kind of way. I mean it as an attraction in itself. But it's something that I recommend. Well, not necessarily right at this second, but when it's okay to do so, take a trip to Gants Hill and you'll be amazed at how stunning this is.
One I hadn't been to for a long time, and then I realised how much I love, is the Rotunda at Piccadilly Circus as well, which is an almost entirely subterranean station, but I love those ones.
Yeah, Piccadilly Circus is... I'm trying to picture the station in my head.
It's round.
When you visit so many, they sort of...
As you emerge up, it's one of those underground circular ones, kind of underneath. It's just beautiful.
Oh yeah, some brilliant platform curves going on in that tunnel, and beautiful tiling as well.
What made you then extend it up to include DLR, the overground?
Well, the project. I suppose I grew up in Bermondsey, so I'm a Bermondsey boy. So the East London line was always, which is now London Overground. It was the East London line to me, and so there was no way I wasn't going to include that. And so I think that's why I naturally included the Overground.
Because you see, for me, because I always thought of it as the North London line, because it that stretch that goes across from Kew Gardens to Highbury or whatever I would occasionally get back in the 1980s. And you're probably too young, but back then, riding on that overground felt like there'd been a nuclear war and nobody had told you. I mean, the windows were smashed, the stations were empty. I mean, it was truly kind of, it was sort of despairing. It had a very brutal beauty, but it was really like lost.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember that. I remember the first time traveling on a DLR though, and just being blown away by that's. I mean, the beauty of that line is that fight that you see adults and children have to who can go in the front of the train.
And pretend you're driving. Yes,
course. And it's seriously, adults sometimes, I've seen them push children out the way to get on that seat. It's the hot seat.
When's the best time to be photographing, do you think? Or does it, because you're underground, does it not matter in terms of light? Or?
Well, that was one of the beauties of the project. I used to like taking night shots. So I like difficult light photography. But I also love rain and reflections. So I like taking shots outside, capturing sort of usual views, but reflected in the ground. And so it makes everything look so much more unusual. And the neon lights reflect beautifully sort of off the ground.
Tell people how they can access these pictures, because there's a website, but there's also a book, isn't there?
Yeah, so there's the tubemapper.com website that you can find. It's online. And there's a book and a calendar that's out as well. The book is coming out this week.
Because I haven't seen the book yet, I must admit.
Pardon?
I haven't seen the book yet.
Oh, that's a shame. I'll get it into. I'll definitely get it into your hands so you can have a look at it. It's I'm very pleased with it, how it looks. It's very exciting to have a book that you can share with people. It's great to be able to share this with every Londoner, especially now. It's rather nostalgic looking at pictures of travel when a lot of us are staying at home. Yeah. And I've been sent messages by people saying they didn't think that they would miss the hallways of the London Underground, but they are very happy that I'm sharing photos with them.
Well, I'm really glad you have as well, because I've just been looking on the website, and the website is fantastic. And you can put in your line and then get all the pictures from the different stations on that line. And it made me nostalgic. It made me yearn to be in crowds again on the London Underground. Because I just think that's, it's one of the things that this city excels at. It's the oldest underground line, and it's still the most beautiful.
May I ask, what's your favourite station?
Well, I'm going to go with Mornington Crescent because it's my local. And for many years, I mean, I've lived, Mornington Crescent's been my local station for 26 years. And for about the first 5 years that I lived there, it was closed because it was one of those ones where it was perpetually being done up. And then when they reopened it, it was like, wow, that, you know, the tile work was beautiful.
It's stunning.
It really is lovely. And I love those Leslie Green kind of oxblood tiles. They're kind of inner London to me. I used to live by Russell Square, which is another one that I love. Camden Town's a complete mess, but I quite like it for that.
There's some stunning tunnels, passenger tunnels in Camden Town.
Yeah.
It's quite big. I like the multiple levels of it.
Oh, no, it's really big, Camden Town, and it's really confusing. And I enjoy that confusion because I understand it, whereas all the tourists haven't got a clue and they're bumping into each other and they're panicking. And I have to say, thanks for doing all of this, Luke. Tell people again where they can see them all, the book, the website, all of that.
Yeah, so the website is tubemapper.com. The book you can find just by typing in the Tube Mapper Project, or you can click a link from the website. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Tube Mapper. And
they are fantastic. Luke, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
They really are great pictures. They're very charismatic. They're very kind of emblematic, I think, of this city of ours. And they have made me a little bit melancholy, but they've also made me realise what I'm waiting to get back to. Jodie says, yep, the out-of-towners flapping around on the tube, people folding gear into their bags, getting up as I slide seamlessly into the seat not even yet vacated. I love the sense of superiority that comes from being a Londoner. My local line is the Central, fast and straight into work for me now, but my home line is the District, and I still have a fond memory of clanking around London on it. I don't have veins, I have tube lines running through my body. What a great line, Jodie. Do you know what? The District is one of the lines that I've never understood. It's that bit of southwest London, it's Chelsea territory, where I've never felt at ease, and I never know what train I'm meant to be getting. So I love all of this. Honestly, it's a big part of my love of this city, is my love of the underground. And that project is just fantastic. It's 12:30 or just about to be, which means it's time for the news headlines.